Hi there, this is Rob at Reason101.net, and I am here to show you how to build something that sounds a little like this. This is just a few different Thor oscillators that are being modulated quite a bit. In the first series, I showed you how those can get modulated. In this series, I'm going to show you how to build a combinator that combines all three of them. So let's create a combinator. Let's delete all the labels because I don't like labels. Okay, now let's create our first mixer. We'll create a line mixer. Then we will create our first Thor. That's going to go into the line mixer channel automatically. We're going to hold down Shift and we're going to create a Maelstrom. We're going to remove all the extraneous stuff that we don't need to initialize the patch. Save yourself a few CPU cycles. Okay, and now let's flip this around. Let's have mod A going into rotary 1. Increase the trim knob. Have mod B going into rotary 2. Increase the trim knob there. We will turn on the sync for both of these. We will change the rates a little bit. So they're a little different on both sides. And then what we will do is go into Thor. We're going to create, in the first one, we will create an FM pair. We're going to increase the decay, increase the sustain, increase the release. We'll keep the low pass ladder filter in here. And that's pretty much all we need to do. So right now, let's close this up. Let's close this as well. Let's take both of these. Hold down Shift so that both of them are selected, and then right click, duplicate the devices and tracks, and then do it again. Duplicate the devices and tracks. Let's flip it around. We're going to send both of these Thors into their own channels. So we now have 3 Thors going on. We're also going to open up the Maelstrom here, and open up the Maelstrom here. Okay, this Maelstrom is going to go into rotary 3. Increase that. This Maelstrom, or this modulator, is going to go into rotary 4. We're going to increase that. Let's right click it, open up the programmer. Actually, let's open up Thor. Let's change this to the FM. What are we going to change this to? This is going to be to phase modulation. We're going to increase the octave to octave 6. We're going to also, let's see, go down here, open up the third Thor. We're going to change this to a wavetable. And for the wavetable, we're going to have mod 1 going into CV1. We're going to flip it around. We're going to take our source as the CV1 input. It's going to be 100. And the destination is going to be oscillator 1 position. Okay. Good enough for that. Now for Thor 3, we're going to take rotary 1. This is going to be our FM pair. So we're going to take rotary 1 and we're going to have that take the oscillator, FM pair carrier. For rotary 2, we're going to take the oscillator, FM pair modulator. So this is carrier. This is going to be modulator. This is going to be phase 1 wave. This is going to be phase 2 wave. So rotary 3, or sorry, Thor 3 copy, we're going to take rotary 3. That's going to be our oscillator phase mod 1. Rotary 4 is going to be our oscillator phase mod 2. Okay. Let's flip it around. Let's make sure everything's set up right. Okay. And then finally, for Thor 3, we're going to take, let's say, rotary 1, and that's going to affect the wavetable. So now if we play this, it's going to go nuts. So let's reduce this down to about 80 for each of these so that it doesn't blow us out of the water when we play it. Perfect. Now this is going to be the FM on. This is going to be the phase mod on. This is going to be wavetable on. And in the mixer, we're going to take button number 1. We're going to go down to mute, channel 1 mute. Button 2 is going to be channel 2 mute. Button 3 is going to be channel 3 mute. And these are all going to be set to 1 at the minimum and 0 at the maximum. So that when we turn them on, they're actually, or when they're off, they're going to be muted here. When we turn it on, it's going to be sounding. So we're going to keep all of them on so that they're all playing at once. And we can decide what we want to play. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is on the Malstroms, we're going to take, let's see, what do we want? Okay, let's take Maelstrom 2. Let's also have the, actually, let's set these up so that we have different waves playing. So that they're all playing different waves here. And this one. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going for there. Alright, so now that we've got that done, the only other thing we're going to do here is we're going to select the Thor, and we're going to create an equalizer under each of the Thors. Okay, and now we're just going to listen to each one on their own. So first the FM on. We can hear that that's the high end, so we want the high shelf to be just a little bit gained, and we're just going to even it out a little. Okay, but we also want the low to be cut down, so we don't want that to be interfering. Take parameter 1. Okay, so that's our high end. And then the second one, if we listen to it on its own, that's going to be our mid-range. Okay, and then the final one down here, if you turn on the last oscillator, the wavetable, that's going to be our low end. So I'll have a little bit of a gain there. Okay, we're just going to lower the frequencies at the high end because we don't want those interfering. Okay, so now if we play all of them together, we get something like this. And finally, what we can do is over here, we will hold down our Shift key, and we will create reverb. Okay, let's flip that around. And instead of having these go, let's not move it. Instead of having these go straight out, we're going to have the output of the reverb going to the output, or to the input, which then goes to the output of the combinator. And we'll take the master output and send that through the reverb. Let's flip it around. Let's put it a little lower. We'll probably put the decay on a little higher. Dampen Okay, we do want a hall. We want it to be a little bigger though. And then what we can do is we can take the reverb and we can tie that to the last button that we have here. So this will be the reverbs on and off. And we will take that last button, button 4. We'll have the master dry wet enabled, and we'll just take a look. We put it at 26, so it's on a minimum. On minimum, it's going to be at let's see, at 0, and then down to 26. Okay. So we'll turn it on and off, and then we'll play it. Reverb off, reverb on. And then you can play around with the waves. And you can go back in and just fine tune it. And that's how you create your spacey, glitchy kind of effect using 3 Thor oscillators run through a bunch of different Maelstroms. And the Maelstroms are used to affect the oscillator carriers and waves. And all without using too much other modulation going on. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Again, my name is Rob, and come visit me at reason101.net, where I will make this available in the next couple of days once I've finished writing the article that goes along with it. Thanks for your time.